Apologies for my absence. So, now that we're back, we're going to be talking about a new topic altogether, which is packages. So, packages are a very important method of encapsulating data, protecting, hiding data, and packages also allow us to have different classes with the same name. So what that means is, let's say I have one package here, and let's say this is a package called say land vehicles. So I have land vehicles. Actually, the convention when naming packages is to use a lowercase alphabet. So land and then vehicles, so camel case. And let's say I have another package right here, which is let's say water vehicles. So I'm going to name this as water vehicles. um, Sorry about that, water vehicles. And these two packages can be part of the same project, and they could still have a class called vehicles here and a class called vehicles here, and there'll be no confusion between these two classes because they belong to different packages. And the simplest way to think about packages is that they're folders or directories. So packages are also very important in maintaining code and making the project structure neat. So packages also allow us to have controlled access. So we could have something like the default access specifier, which is actually package private. Some people also call it that, and that means that only classes within the same package have access to that member of a class. And it's also similar to the case for protected members. So protected members are accessible to subclasses, and subclasses may be within or outside the package, and it's also accessible to classes within the same package. So that's basically what packages are. And there are actually two types of packages. The first one is user defined packages, and the second one is um, built in. So the built-in packages are basically part of the Java API. They're basically libraries. So Java API. These are basically libraries. So we've got a utils library, a collections library, and so on. There are libraries for networking, etc. So these are basically packages, and even the system class that we use for system.out.println, the system class is inside a specific package, which is a built-in package. And user-defined packages are packages that we can make on our own. So the convention that we follow is something like the reverse order of a domain name. So I could have a package called com, um, and then I can have something like Shreyas, and I can have something like demo inside of this. So demo here, and the package in this case would be something like com.shreyas.package. So com.shreyas.demo, sorry, com.shreyas.demo. And packages are very closely related to the directory structure in the project. So com is nothing but a folder or a directory with the name com. Shreyas is a directory inside of this com directory, and demo is a third directory which is inside the Shreyas folder or directory. And the way to make a package would be something like to create all of these folders, and after that, let's say I have a class called my class here. So I would do something like this. I would have the class, and the first line of my class would be package com dot dot demo, and after that I can start writing my class in here. So if this is called, let's say, my class, this my class would belong to this package. And the way to import a package, actually there are multiple ways to import packages. So let's say I want to use this my class outside this com.shreyas.demo package. Let's say I want to use it in com.shreyas.example. All I have to do is within my .java file, I need to use an import statement. So import is another Java keyword. What I would have to do is com dot import com dot shreyas, and after this I can do something like dot my class, and that will allow me to just use my class within this Java file. But what I could also do is add a star here, and a star means that I'm going to use all the classes inside this package com.shreyas.demo. And okay, so here's one point that we need to remember about the star, which is that it allows us to use all classes within the package, but not sub packages. And sub packages just means that they're packages inside the package. So let's say I have here land vehicles and water vehicles, and I have a vehicle class inside of this. Let's just say that it's an abstract class or something like that. We could make it concrete as well. And after that I have another thing here. Let's say we call it vehicles folder. Um, so the vehicles folder that we have created is just a sub package inside the land vehicles package, and we can have something like car, bus, truck, bicycle, all of these in here. And then my car would be something like the car class would be something like land vehicles dot car. My bicycle would be land vehicles dot bicycle. So in this case, if I do something like import land vehicles dot star, it would allow me to use this vehicle class, but not all the classes inside this vehicles sub package. So that's what the star means. And another way to import it is just instead of the star, we can use the class name directly. So that allows us to use that class only. And the third way to do it is to use the whole package name before the class every time we are using something. So we can do something like com dot shreyas dot my class dot x, let's say, provided x is a field inside of this my class and x is public. I can do something like this, and this becomes really useful in case of collisions between class names. So let me open a new page here. So if I have the previous example, I have a land vehicles class, I have a water vehicles class, and both of them have a class called vehicle. And what I'm doing in my Java file is I want both of these here. So I want this, and I also want this. So in this case, if I just say if I want to access a member of the vehicle class, that might actually get confusing, because Let's say after this, in here, I do something like vehicle, sorry, vehicle v um, equals new vehicle. So this kind of becomes confusing because now should this V be a land vehicle or should it be a water vehicle? What is V going to contain? So in such cases, it's really useful to just use land vehicles dot vehicle V is equal to new land vehicles dot vehicle, or similarly for water vehicles. So that's one case in which this becomes really useful. And this is more or less it about packages. Most of the points that you need to remember and understand packages are all mentioned here. I just want to end this with one point, and after that I think I'll do a programming session on how to create and use packages. But before that, one last point. After Java 5, um, there's a static import feature that they've added. So what this static import feature means is that we don't have to write explicitly in case of we don't need to write the class name in case of using static members. So for example, the system.out.println that we use, out is a static member of the system class. So normally what we would do is we would write the whole thing system.out.println, but since the introduction of this static import feature, we can do something like just out dot println um, println, and this works just fine. um, this is kind of good in some cases, but in a lot of cases it makes the code unreadable, or at least difficult to read and difficult to maintain as well. So it's not always a good idea to skip the class name, but it's another feature that they've added and sometimes it becomes really useful. So I just thought it was worth mentioning. And I guess I'll see you in the programming session next, where we'll create and use packages. And I think that should give you a really good idea about packages. So stay tuned.